Barbara Allen here, coming at you with the Left Coast Lean. You know what I mean. I would really like for somebody to explain to me how you bankrupt a casino. Think about it, guys. How do you bankrupt a casino? It's a gambling den where the house has the odds. The house literally can't lose unless they want to. Okay? I mean, the short answer to the question, there's only one way to bankrupt a casino, and that's if you're stealing from it. Actively stealing from it. Okay? That's the only way. There is no other way. And I'm sure the mob had their hands elbow deep in that theft. They taught him how to steal, and they stole from what he was stealing from. Trust me, he didn't steal anything out of their cut. I bet you they got a cut of his cut. And just like in any other racket, if you will, there are handoffs. You can be being managed by one criminal element, and they will literally hand you over to somebody else to manage you as a earner. You'll be given to somebody else to earn for them. Maybe they'll buy you. Maybe there's a trade up. Maybe they have to give you up to somebody else as punishment. There's all kinds of ways. I remember way back in the day, watching somebody who'd been pimping some girl out for a while. They were at their end, and he literally handed this girl off to another pimp to use as an earner. He's like, "Here, man, go ahead and take this and start your business, your string of girls, if you will." She was no longer A-list to the original pimp, and so he basically handed her off to somebody else as a payment of a debt. And he didn't have to deal with her anymore, and he didn't have to deal with the debt anymore, and he had younger, prettier girls to work for him. And so he handed this other girl off to this other guy, and the other guy, put her to work. She was a valuable asset for him, and the level that he was playing at. Kind of like, being sent back down to the minor leagues, if you will. And that's kind of what happened with Donald Trump. The Italians sucked him dry, man. All those hotels that he was managing to get built with concrete in New York. Why was he getting all that concrete? That was the mob. He had a great connection to getting plenty of concrete and didn't have to use any steel. And the mob had the market on the concrete. And so Donald J. Trump got all the concrete he needed when he needed it. And he got his stuff built. So, and they got paid to build all that stuff, to build it, and they helped him get into the casinos, and then they helped him robbing those casinos. And then, because he was no longer an A-list earner, they handed him off, sold him as an asset one way or the other, sold him off to the Russians. And now the Russians have him as a earner, and they put him down in the B leagues for a while, and helped him clean out those casinos. Seriously, cleaned out the casinos. How do you do that? How do you bankrupt casinos? You don't. You steal them. You have to steal from them. And keep in mind that, come on, we've all seen Casino. We have all seen how that skim works. They weren't far from how it works in that movie. Okay? And even with the skim, they're not losing money. So they've built into the system the ability to steal from it and not have it show up and not have it lose. So to be stealing so much that you go bankrupt, you had to be stealing a lot. I mean a lot. It's ridiculous how much you would have to be stealing. Okay? Absolutely ridiculous how much you would have to be stealing to bankrupt a casino. Okay? And I was in Vegas in the 90s, okay? I was there. I remember hearing people talk about Trump in Atlantic City and how much of a blowhard he was. Okay? And when I tell you they have the system built in, I mean it. Let me point this out to you. For those of you that have been to a gambling city, a gambling city where they've got lots of slot machines, you will see signs saying 98% payout, 97.5% payout, 98.2% payout, loosest slots on the strip. You'll see that all the time. Loosest slots on the strip. Okay? And it's always like a 98%. And that sounds great. Ooh, I'm going to get, what they're saying is 98% of the dollar you put in, you're getting back. Ooh. Look at that backwards. Turn that around a little bit. It means they're guaranteeing you that every dollar that goes in, they're only putting 98 cents back out. They're taking 2 cents off of every dollar. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's guaranteed. It's built into the system. It's built into the algorithm. It cannot be diverted. There will be 2 pennies taken out of every single dollar on average for all of those slot machines. Now here's the real deal. Those slot machines really pay the bills. Okay? Baccarat table, blackjack, none of that matters. That's all just gravy. Okay? All their losses, all their insurance, all their promos,